Hey all, and welcome back to Timber and Smoke. Today, I would like to talk a little bit about uh, the aftermath of STG and Sutliff. We're not totally there yet, but we are getting close. Since the Sutliff news that the factory in Virginia was announced in November, that has led to a frenzy. And what do I mean by that? I'm sure everybody's aware, but it's led to insane amounts of purchasing pipe tobacco. But not just any pipe tobacco. It's not led to insane purchases of half and half or Sir Walter Raleigh or Captain Black or whatever. But what it has led to is insane purchases of Sutliff blends that are going away. Okay. It has led to this mindset of people to say, I've got to buy as much of this as I possibly can, whether I like it or not, right? I'll get to that in a little bit. But we are seeing people just flock and purchase this stuff up like crazy. So what we're seeing now is Sutliff blends are now going out of stock, okay, with no restock in the future. So we were told that March 31st is the end date of the factory in Virginia, that they will be producing tobacco until the end of February, I think. But now we're halfway through January, and blends are going out of stock, and they're not going to restock them. And why would they? I can't blame STG for that. Why would they pour more money, right? Why would they allow the factory to buy more tobacco and blend it and can it? It costs them more money that's going to be gone. They don't want to be left sitting on stock, and I can't fault them for that. But what we're seeing in the pipe community is people are doing this crazy purchasing that has now led to these early restocks with no foreseeable, right? They're going to be gone unless you can find them on small little websites, online retailers, or your local brick and mortar or whatever. But generally, these blends are gone at this point. Not everything. I don't know all the details of what is in stock and what's not, but I've just begun seeing people talk about this now. So that's one area where we see this directly with Sutliff. But I believe that this is, and I think the best word is infected, that this mindset of purchasing up tobacco has now infected pipe smokers in other areas. Let's take another example, Firebird Flake. Firebird Flake, a small batch made by Cornell and Deal recently, sold out instantly, right? I was seeing wait times of 40, 50, 60 minutes on smoking pipes for people. They couldn't get in. They just couldn't get into the website. Website crashed for people, the whole gambit, everything. So that's another area, right? And small batches have been around for some time. But I don't believe that the small batch craze has led to the sellout so instantly, right? My hunch, and I don't know because I haven't been pipe smoking that long, but my hunch is if you go 2 years ago when they were releasing a small batch, did it sell out instantly? If you know, let me know. If you know, put something down in the comments, and I would be interested. But it just seems like it's extra, right? It just seems that the buying and the frenzy is up to 11 right now. Another example of where this has happened is the Country Squires Dark Holler, another blend, another limited run batch that led to the crashing and freezing and just a poor experience for consumers via the Country Squires website, right? So if you weren't on the jump, if you didn't have a good internet connection or whatever, right, you missed out on something that maybe you wanted to purchase. So all that to say is that we were seeing this just absolute craze amongst pipe smokers, right? Another area that this is happening, so I've talked about it, and I'm going to be doing an interview with some of these small batch blenders. I've reached out to Milan Tobacconist and Watch City Cigar. Both of them have told me that they would do an interview. I'm waiting to get the final dates on that. I actually just got my dates with Ernie from Watch City Cigar. But we had to do it 2 months out into the future of when we initially began our discussion because, right? Because he's busy like a madman. And why is that? Because he told me directly, the panic buying has ensued, and it's insane, right? I'm sure he sells other blends, like I'm sure he sells Sutliff and whatnot, but as we all know, all of these small batch blenders also get their components generally from Sutliff. It's no secret. So even he is feeling this, right? Because at some point in time, right, he's either changing his blends, he's finding a different place to source them from, or his blends are going to go away, right? There are going to be blends that he produces that might have to go away. And so what this is leading to is people are recognizing that, and people are saying, hey, I want those things. I don't want them to go away, so I'm going to buy them up. And so really we're seeing that everywhere where this notion of limited release is happening, okay? So again, the reason why that's important is it's not happening in the world of regular production pipe tobacco. We are not seeing people buying Autumn Evening like insane, and Autumn Evening being out of stock anywhere, right? You're just not. You can buy that anywhere you want. I can go down to the gas station and get pouches of half and half, right? I'm not struggling to find that. But what you are struggling to find is the, I'll say, unobtainium, right? The stuff that is going to be hard to find. Now, scalpers exist in every hobby. I mean, you can't get around that fact. But my issue, and I think the issue with a lot of other pipe smokers, I think a lot of people are feeling this way, that they're feeling frustrated by this. For what reason, right? And I'm even trying to figure that out as I'm recording this video. I think it's kind of twofold. One is the scalping, right? Again, scalpers exist everywhere. However, because the pipe community is pretty small, right? When you compare this to another hobby like cigars even, or if you compare this to a hobby like guns, let's say, there are going to be people that buy limited release guns or boutique ammunition or whatever. But the gun community is much larger, right? So it's not as personal. But because the pipe community is small, and typically those who are involved know a lot of other people, it almost feels like a personal attack for those of us who smoke pipes. So that's one reason I think why it kind of makes me at least a little perturbed by it. The other reason is that it makes you ask the question of why, right? Why this tobacco, okay? And it's related to this notion of scalping in some sense. For me, I'm not participating in this because I don't feel the need to go out and say buy 10 tins of Firebird Flake and for some small batch release, and say I don't like Firebird Flake, right? Then I'm out $150. Or I'm going to have 10 tins of a tobacco that is not going to be released in the future, right? I have to assume that. They might do a re-release, but they also might not. So say I buy Firebird Flake, I'm sitting on 10 tins, and say I really like it actually. Well then, now I have another problem, right? I smoked through those 10 tins and now I'm out, right? Now I just don't have that. I would much rather take my time and my money in finding something that's in regular production that I really like, right? Why would I waste all this hassle and panic and heartache purchasing something that isn't going to be around for a long time? So those are kind of the two reasons why, at least for me personally, I'm just confused as to the behavior of a lot of people who are smoking pipes. Let me know down below. What do you think? Like, why does this bother you, first of all? And if it does bother you, why? Right? I'd be curious as to other people's take on this. And then one last thought as well regarding STG. I've seen so many people talk about boycotting STG. And if that's your personal decision, have at it, great on you. What, with STG, the fallout, the panic buying, what this has led to, and I said this before, is regardless of your take on this, it has hurt the pipe smoker, right? The small batch, the panic buying of the small batches, who does that hurt the most? It hurts you and me, right? Cornell and Deal loves the panic buying, right? They love when they sell the 5,000 tins that they made. They love that they sell it instantly, right? Why? Because then that tells them, let's keep doing this, because this is a working formula of making money, which I hope Cornell and Deal makes money, right? I want them to stay in business. But my point being, this it's the consumer that has hurt the most, right? We are now going to be out a lot of those blends that Sutliff had made and produced, right? A lot of blends that a lot of people enjoyed. It doesn't hurt STG, right? Because they're going to sell about the same amount of pipe tobacco, most likely. So they're not hurting, but you and I are. This Firebird Flake, it doesn't hurt Cornell and Deal, but it hurts you and me. It hurts our consumer experience. Maybe it makes you frustrated with the pipe community and you just want out. Who knows? So all that to say, all of this fallout, to me, the main reason that this is bad is because it's hurting those of us who enjoy pipes. It hurts those of us who just enjoy going on your back deck, taking some time, and smoking a pipe. I mentioned the STG boycott to kind of get back to that thought, because a lot of people, again, are saying, I'm going to boycott STG, right? STG makes a lot of stuff, like Cold Blood Red Moon, a super popular pipe tobacco. They make all the Peterson blends, also very popular, right? And a lot of people really like those things. I've been thinking a lot about this, and I've gone back and forth as far as the boycott. Again, one, if you boycott STG and their pipe tobacco, that's your personal decision. Like, I can't make that for anybody. But it will only hurt those of us who smoke pipes, because if their market share decreases, they'll just say, I'll remove more pipe tobacco. And why is that? Why can STG do that, right? They are Scandinavian Tobacco Group. They are not Scandinavian Pipe Group. Pipes are probably a very minuscule part of their portfolio. Scandinavian Tobacco Group also owns a whole bunch of cigar companies. So one of which being Drew Estate. So if you don't know, Drew Estate is a huge cigar company, okay? They make a bunch of stuff. They make acid cigars. They make blackened cigars. I mean, they make just factory smokes. They make an incredible amount of cigars. And I've heard that STG, their cigar hold in the States, about 33% of the market share on cigars in the United States is owned by STG. So just put that in your mind, okay? So if you think that STG is this huge monopoly as far as pipe tobacco, having a whole third of the United States on something like cigars, that's a lot, people. That's a lot. So my whole point in saying that is that if you decide I'm not going to buy my pipe tobacco from STG and try to send them a message, those people will not care, right? Because they are finding money elsewhere in other areas, okay? To you, you really are just a number to them. So just a little bit of a rant, I suppose. All that to say, is it worth it, right? Is it worth it to try and do this boycott? And if you're really principled and it is for you, then that's good for you and you should do that then. So I'm going to wrap this video up a little bit ranty, but all that to say, when you are participating in this, or when you go to purchase tobacco, you should ask yourself, is this how I want to enjoy smoking a pipe, right? Do I want to go through this whole procedure of website crashes and trying to get just this one tobacco blend? I just need that one blend to smoke because that will be the blend for me, or whatever, right? For me, the answer is no. For me, I've fallen where I'm just happy with, I just have a couple of pipes. I'm finding the blends that I enjoy. Those will be the blends that I smoke. I don't feel the need to go and hunt down just the most unique specialty blends. I'm good. So I hope you appreciate this video. Again, if you got opinions, thoughts, I love for you to put those down below. I'm always really interested in what other people think and their takes, because it's helpful for me too. So thank you very much, and we will see you next time.